Kumusta mga kababayan? Happy birthday kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ayan sa ating future president At talaga namang inaasahan natin na magiging presidente yan ng Pilipinas. Talagang tinuturing ng marami. At ako bilang next big thing sa Philippine politics. No? Pero teka, bago tayo mag-party, let's talk about something juicy. Is she really the future president of the Philippines? Or is this just another political hype train? Ngayong araw, we're diving deep into Sara Duterte's political journey, her controversies, and her policies na maaaring magbago ng Pilipinas. Kaya grab your kape or bubble tea, whether you're in Manila, California, Dubai, or Hong Kong. Kasi this is gonna be a couple of minutes roller coaster of intriga, analysis, and kwentong Pinoy. Meron pa yata akong tsokolate. Okay, anyhow, kung ikaw ay isang OFW sa United States, Canada, Australia, o kahit sa UAE, malamang narinig mo na ang pangalan ni Inday Sara. Siya ang babaeng may iron fist pero soft heart. Isang leader na hinintay natin. O so her supporters say, pero bakit nga ba siya tinuturing na presidential material? At bakit may mga nagsasabing siya ang sagot sa mga problema ng Pilipinas? Habang ang iba naman ay nagdududa dahil sa kanyang apelido at mga kontrobersiya, today we'll break it all down from her policies as Education Secretary to the spicy political feud with the Marcoses. Kung bago ka rito, i-hit ang subscribe button, i-like ang video at i-comment ang Inday Sara 2028. Kung supporter ka, share this sa mga kaibigan mo sa Japan, UK o Saudi Arabia para maabot natin ang mas maraming Pinoy. And if you're feeling generous, send us a super thanks to keep this channel running. Salamat po. This isn't just a birthday tribute, It's a deep dive into Sara Duterte's political legacy, controversies, and her appeal to the youth and OFWs. We will use facts, a bit of humor, and some sariwang chismis to keep you hooked. Pero fair warning we'll look at both sides, ang pros at cons, para walang bias. Pero with a slit Siyempre, tayo medyo makasara tayo, di ba? Siyempre, resonates with millions. Okay, yan Let's start with the story. Noong 2007, si Sara Duterte ay isang nobody sa national politics. Isang abogado, ina, at vice mayor ng Davao City. Pero isang insidente ang nagpabago ng lahat. Ang punching incident sa Davao Court. Flashback talagang nang hindi sumunod ang isang sheriff sa kanyang utos na i-delay ang demolition ng isang barangay. Sinuntok ni Sara ang sheriff on camera, savage or reckless. That moment showed her tough side, a trait she inherited from her father, Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Pero it also made her a household name. From there, she became Davao's youngest and first female mayor, winning hearts with her biyaheng Duterte agenda. So why does this matter? Sara's rise wasn't just about being a Duterte. Her track record in Davao, focusing on education, peace and order, and livelihood, made her a standout. Her Peace 911 initiative reduced crime, while Magnegosyo Taday empowered small businesses. These are the kinds of results na hinintay ng mga OFW na gustong umuwi sa isang maayos na Pilipinas. Pero let's not sugarcoat it, Some critics says her tough persona is a copy-paste of her father's Duterte Harry style. Is she her own leader or just riding the Duterte brand? No? Okay, ano sa tingin niyo? Mag-comment ka sa baba. Okay, fast forward tayo to 2024. The Uniteam Alliance na nagdala kina Bongbong Marcos at Sara Duterte sa poder noong 2022 ay naglaho na parang bula. Ang Marcos Duterte marriage of convenience ay natapos with a bang. O mas tamang sabihin, with Sara's explosive comments sa isang press conference, sinabi niya na gusto niyang putulin ang ulo ni Marcos at hindi ito figure of speech. She later clarified it was a joke, pero the damage was done. Marcos called it reckless and the NBI summoned her. This feud isn't just chismis. It's a clash of political dynasties na maaaring magbago ng 2028 elections. On one hand, Sara's fiery rhetoric resonates with Filipinos tired of plastic politicians. Her honesty, kahit sobra-sobra minsan, appeals to the youth and OFWs who want a leader na totoo. Pero sa kabilang banda, critics argue na her comments were dangerous, lalo na't vice president siya. Is this leadership or recklessness? Marcos Camp says she's destabilizing the government, but Sara supporters see it as standing up to a bully. Okay, kung si Sara ang magiging presidente, baka maging national sport ang trash talking. Let's be real, this feud is a preview of 2028. Sino ang side mo, Marcos o Duterte? I-comment below, no? Talagang who's winning in the feud, no? Marcos or Sara? Mag-comment lang kayo. As Education Secretary, Sara introduced the matatag curriculum in 2023. Napakagaling, di ba? Slashing learning areas from 7 to 5 and emphasizing makabansa to instill nationalisms. No? This move aims to fix the literacy and numeracy gaps. Did you know that 9 out of 10 Filipino kids can read properly by age 10? Ooh. Her National Learning Recovery Program targets this crisis. A big deal for OFWs who want their kids to compete globally. Pero may critics, ha? Some say the curriculum cuts oversimplify education, and her no volunteer work for teachers policy alienated educators. Let's zoom out. Countries like Finland and Singapore have top-tier education systems, no? Because they invest in teachers and simplify curricula. Sara's approach mirrors this, pero kulang pa sa funding. Only 4% of GDP ang education budget natin compared to Finland's 7%, no? Imagine an OFW in Dubai sending money home para sa edukasyon ng anak, only to find out na outdated pa rin ang sistema. That's why Sara's reform matters, no? Her supporter says she's laying the foundation for a stronger future. But detractors argue it's too little, too late. Kung si Sara ang presidente, baka maging mandatory ang patriotism sa Zoom classes. Okay, no? All right, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, no? Sara's impeachment in February 2025, accused, no, of misusing confidential funds. Sara faced 4 impeachment complaints. The House alleged irregularities in receipts with 60% of fund receipts, no, having no records in the civil registry. Sara denied seeing the receipts, and her supporters called it a political vendetta by Marcos allies. Isang OFW sa Canada ang nagsabi sa akin, kung si Sara ang corrupt, bakit siya pa rin ang pinakapopular? No? The impeachment trial in the Senate is ongoing, but Sara's camp is confident she will survive. On Sara's side, her defenders argue that impeachment is a Marcos orchestrated plot to weaken her 2028 bid. Her high approval ratings often rivaling Marcos shows she's still a force among Filipinos, especially in Mindanao and among OFWs. But critics point out that the lack of transparency in her hands raises red flags. Is she a victim of political games, or did she really mishandle public money? Kung impeachment ang laro, baka si Sara maging MVP sa comeback. Ano ang take mo sa impeachment? I-share mo yan sa comment section. And don't forget to hit that share button. Huh? Okay, will Sara survive the Senate trial? Stay tuned. So why do posts on X call Sara the next president? No, her solid DDS supporters see her as a continuation of her father's legacy, tough on crime, pro-poor, and anti-elite. Her appeal to OFWs is massive. She's visited Filipino communities in Japan, Germany, and Singapore, showing she cares about them. No, isang OFW sa Hong Kong nagsabi, si Sara ang tunay na may malasakit. Her biyaheng Duterte agenda could scale nationwide, focusing on education, jobs, and peace. Pero teka ha, not everyone sold. Some say her father's war on drugs legacy linked to 30,000 deaths taints her image. Critics abroad, especially in the US and Europe, question her silence on human rights issues. Still her tough but caring persona resonates with Filipinos tired of trapo politics. Kung si Sara ang magiging presidente, baka magkaroon ng Jollibee sa Malacanang. No? For OFWs in Australia, UK, or Saudi, her promise of better education and jobs could mean a brighter future for their families. So anong natutunan natin? Si Sara Duterte ay hindi lang anak ni Rodrigo, siya ay isang leader na may track record, controversies at vision. Her education reforms, her tough love style, and her appeal to OFWs make her a strong contender for 2028. Pero ang impeachment at Marcos feud, that's the plot twist we'll keep watching. Whether you're in the Philippines, US, Canada, or anywhere in the world, Sarah's story is one to follow. Kung nagustuhan mo ang video na ito, i-hit ang subscribe button at i-click ang bell para sa weekly political chika. Share this sa mga kababayan mo sa Italy, UAE o Japan. Let's spark a global Pinoy convo. Comment below, sino ang susunod na presidente? And if you learn something new, send a super thanks to support this channel. Salamat sa inyong lahat at hanggang sa susunod na video. Next week, we'll dive into Marcos' economic policies. Sino ang mas magaling? Okay, no? Let's keep the conversation going mga kababayan. Magkita-kita tayo sa comments at huwag kalimutang magmalasakit sa bayan tulad ni Inday Sara. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas!